So what I was just watching before I got on here, I watch YouTube shorts to make sure I watch YouTube shorts before I get on here so that I'm already on my phone and paying attention to the time. Because if I do not do that, I will be off creating a new language or counting my toes to make sure that they're still there. I'll be doing anything but what I'm supposed to be doing if I don't set up a system to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that system to make sure that I'm here on time is to watch YouTube shorts so that I'm already on my phone. But what I was just watching was a YouTuber named Martell, and he's like a fitness influencer turned self-improvement guy. But he was just saying, if I asked you to tell me who you are, you wouldn't even be able to tell me because your mind is clogged up with negative thoughts of who other people told you that you are. And so you forgot who you are because you were sitting here listening to what other people said. And it reminds me, it was such a good reminder. He's not a Christian influencer, but the Lord already told us who we are. My favorite, my personal favorite that I really like cling to is that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. It's so powerful. And I am sure people come on here every day calling me all sorts of names or whatever, you know what I mean? Or people will have of you that have nothing to do with who you are. They just knew somebody in second grade with dreadlocks and a green shirt that stepped on their toe, and now every other person with dreadlocks and a green shirt in their lifetime will have to pay for that assault. But you, meanwhile, with your dreadlocks and green shirt, you have no idea. And this person called you an idiot and you internalize that. And it was just such a great reminder that, like, don't forget who you are because you're too busy listening to everybody else but God tell you who in fact you are. It's fruitless, you know what I mean? So all right. Who am I? I am 3+Kei. I'm just an honest Christian. I'm here to encourage you to pursue the smile by prioritizing the Lord, your physical health, and persistent education. And this space right here is called the Secret Heart Club. Let's go. Welcome to the Secret Heart Club. Everyone does a part to being loved. Be loved. We love Jesus at the Secret Heart Club. And for those of you guys who are here, this usually starts at 8:05, but starting today, it'll start at 8. So thanks for kind of clicking in a little bit early. There's usually regulars here, and I hope they come on in at some point, but I'm glad to have you guys. So let's start with the little praise report. Feel free to put your praise report in the chat right here. Mine is I got through with the weightlifting today. If you know, when you hit a certain age, maybe you're tired, you don't really want to be doing anything. And earlier this year, I made a goal. I was like, I'm going to be a power lifter. And so part of being a power lifter is weightlifting every day. And I didn't want to do it. So my praise report is not only did I go to the gym today, and let me give you guys some solace here. Go to the gym anyway, or go do whatever your task is or your goal is for the day. If it's part of a larger goal, go do it. And some days you'll just do it slower. You know what I mean? Some days you'll do it slower. Sometimes you got to do it crying. sometimes you got to do it while you're depressed or you're anxious or whatever the case might be. But the point is to just like show up. And so today I thought was going to be one of those days where I just like showed up to the gym and just like slowly went through my workout. But I got there, and not only did I go full throttle, I wasn't planning on doing like a progressive overload thing today. And progressive overload is like 1 week, week 1, you do 5 pounds. Week 2, you do 7 pounds. Week 3, you do 10 pounds. That's progressive overload. Like every week you go for more weight. That wasn't even my intention today, even though it would be the day for that. And I went ahead and did it. And I think that's great. I'm up to 85 pounds on the row. So, you know, for a woman, it's pretty good. You know, so let's see. Dirtbag Dustin coming through with some jokes today. Yeah, so that was my praise report. I hope your days went well or were at least like decently productive. And so another part, every night I pray us out, and part of that prayer, and anytime I pray for anybody ever, I always end the prayer by saying, you know, Lord, please put somebody in front of this person and myself, so that we can serve them and love them in your name. Amen. Because that's a big part. That's a big component about loving Christ, is loving his people as well. And the people that you're loving and serving don't necessarily have to be other Christ followers. I think that might be ideal, but as Christians, we want to make sure that we're loving and serving everybody. So that's always my prayer for people, is that the Lord would put somebody in front of you so that you can serve and love them. So I wonder if that occurred for you guys today. My person today is my own kid. You know, they started a job a few weeks ago. And so anyway, it's Tuesday. So I was just checking on them for the week and asking, you know, I have an adult child. I have 2 adult children, and saying, you know, what do you have going on for the week? And my kid was like, nothing, just working. And I reminded them, like I do super frequently, that you gotta like create goals. Like, don't have nothing going on. You have to create goals and then go after your goals. Particularly, I don't know how old you guys are, but when people are in their 20s, really like their early 20s, but anywhere in their 20s or teenagers or kids, us older people love to support a young person with a vision. And my kid is kind of rounding that corner, and I really want to see them, like, if they have a goal they're trying to do, start a business or whatever, that they're at an age where it's kind of a last call for people wanting to like mentor and support. Because once you, and again, I don't know how old you guys are, but once you hit about 30, people really look at you like you should have something figured out by now. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't scrambling like, oh, look at it. What a whippersnapper. Look at that potential. Look at that ambition. At 30, potential doesn't, like, potential's for younger people. By 30, people are kind of looking at you like you should have developed that into something by now. So I'm just like forever encouraging my kid to like think about her goals, pursue her goals now, talk about them, so that older people can come alongside her and mentor her and provides resources if that's what the case might be. You know what I mean? So that's who I loved on today. That's who I loved on today. We do need to make some plans. We live in the same town. We're kind of, your kid gets to a certain age and they don't want to hang out. But at least we can text, you know what I mean? That's all right. So today, blessings, I'll tell you, I've been a little stressed lately. And I'm sure you guys have your own versions of what it is you want out of this world. And at a certain point, speaking of turning 30, right? You turn 30 and some people have mortgages all of a sudden. Some people have kids. Some people are traveling the world. Some people are still working at Domino's, and it just kind of is what it is. And what I think for myself is I love the neighborhood I live in. I also want to move out into the woods and frequently talk about it and daydream and look at land. And lately I've been looking at campers and this kind of thing. And it's been stressing me out a little bit because I want to stay in my neighborhood, which is very convenient and in a town. I also would like a cabin in the woods, and maybe it's just not time to be. You've heard the phrase like stressed about the wrong things? Y'all got student loans, right? I got student loans, and it's and I got a car payment. Before I start thinking about going off into the world by myself somewhere, purchasing a cabin or a camper and acres and all this fairy tale stuff for right now, the reality of it is that there's still some debts that need to be repaid. And so I was kind of processing this. I don't know what it looks like you guys in the Lord, you know what I mean? But I'm very conversational with the Lord. What do you think? What say you? And I was just talking to God, what am I could sense I wasn't focused on the right thing. So what am I supposed to be focused on? And it's well, what do you want? What brings you joy at the moment? So the YouTube channel. I like working out a lot. I like the pursuit of powerlifting. It's a vibe because not many women do it, and I think that's really cool to do a thing that not many people pursue. And so ultimately what came out of that conversation, which was hours long, is that I would focus on building the YouTube channel, which ultimately prayerfully would generate an income at some point, and then also focus on my physical health, and just those two things. So I was talking to my friend Leslie yesterday, and shout out to supportive friends. I said this before. I feel very, very blessed that I don't have people around me, and it's probably by design at this point, right? I don't have people around me who are plotting on me. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been there before in my life, and maybe you have been there too, where there are people actively trying to sabotage you in life. I don't really have that right now. And I think that is the biggest blessing, that when I share my dreams or the things that I'm wanting to contribute to the world with certain people, that their response is not just like, oh, that's cool, but also like, try this or try that. So anyway, I was talking to my friend Leslie yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I really want to focus on the YouTube channel. And there are 3 components to it. There's shorts, long form videos, and live streams. And I really want to have a longer live stream, right? Because this space is it's fun, and I like the people here. I look forward to engaging with the community that has become the Secret Heart Club. I see the growth of the Secret Heart Club as time passes. I see that this space is maturing into something that is fruitful and God honoring and productive. And so ideally, I would like to see the Secret Heart Club be up to like 3 hours. It would be like 3 hours a day or something like that. But y'all, I'm a social worker. I don't work 9 to 5, but that's my 9 to 5. And so she was like, well, just start the live stream earlier, because I go to bed after this. I'm like, we in this at 8:50, 9:05. I'm twinkle toeing under the covers. You feel me? Like, I'm out. So extending it isn't really an option, because I have to get up in the morning too. But hey, Rando, go for it. Go for it. Say what you need advice for. But yeah, and then to make it earlier, like say 7:30 or something like that. Like, my life just isn't really set up. My life isn't really set up for the extra time. So she was like, why don't you just start with 8? Usually the Secret Heart Club starts at 8:05. Why don't you start airing it at 8 instead, and then just slowly bring it back as you find the time? And I thought that was a really good idea. So starting today, the Secret Heart Club started at 8 o'clock, and it was all right. There were a few people there. So yeah, just do the 5 minutes. I was talking to a guy today. So 2 years ago, I was in a practical shooting club, and the firearms they used are not the type that I was familiar with. And also the technique, it's like competitive shooting. And so I was out of my comfort zone, because it's like kind of fast paced, and there's knowledge behind like the little things that you have. Like, you have this belt with all this stuff on it. And so anyway, I had stopped going at one point because everybody was like better than me. You know what I mean? Like, nobody was necessarily like slowing down to teach me. And then the next year I didn't participate because I had a job during that time, which I could have moved around, but just used it as an excuse. So anyway, I was talking today. Hey, Boston. I was talking today to one of the instructors at the Practical Shooting Club. And I was like, yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about the club. I dropped out because I wasn't any good. And he goes, that's BS. And I was like, this is why, by the way, this is why I like having female friends, because men speak differently a lot of times than women do. I like to be spoken to like a lady. So that was, hey, Janessa. So that was a little shocking to me. But he was like, He's like, that's BS. Like, everybody starts from the beginning. Everybody's new at something. You should just come back to the club. So he was being nice. I think he's just like a gruff guy. He was being nice and inviting me back into the club, but the way he was doing it was just kind of like gruff. It's kind of funny. But I say that to say, in improving this YouTube channel, you know, it's just going to be like it's just going to be like a process, and figuring out like this channel deserves more time and needs more time. And when I watch videos about how other people are growing their channels, they have to take the time out to develop and do all this stuff. And I'm committed to it. But, and to not do so, as the shooting guy said, is kind of BS. Like, everybody has to start from somewhere. And so this is the beginning of that, guys, right? So anyway, the title of this live stream is called World of Blessings. And I swear, I don't know if I'm just tired or what, or if it was the Holy Spirit. I get that very well could be it. But I dang near cried today thinking about the blessings that I have. And I want you guys to think about, as I'm talking about my blessings, because this is going to be highly relatable to you. I want you to think about your own blessings. So, hey, Deborah. So here's what happened. After I went weightlifting, I went on a trail at a place called Blue Mountain, which is a mountain. And the sun was out. I needed to get my steps in today because your girl is overweight. So I had to get my steps in for my Fitbit. The sun is beaming down. I'm going uphill, up this mountain. I'm like trudging, and I am so upset because I'm tired. And depending on what age you guys are, this is also what I want to tell my adult child, is like, go for your goals now. There's no way to tell young people this, because there's no way for them to like understand, like talking to a 7-year-old about spending money. Like, they don't have a frame of reference. But I'm at an age where I am perpetually tired and not fatigued, not lethargic, right? But it's like, if I closed my eyes, I always want to close my eyes. If I close my eyes, I wouldn't fall asleep, but they would stay closed. Like, I'm always in a state of wanting to rest my eyes. So this is me on this mountain, right? With the tiredness, and it's hot. And I'm just like grumbling and whining to myself about these steps that I need to take. And I'll tell you, if the Holy Spirit did not pick me up and gather me together right quick and put me down, and here's what, just like that, from tired to, I recalled a video I saw earlier today about a woman in the Air Force that has cancer, and she was just saying like, all I want, that was her whole video. She's like, all I want is to go back to work. All I want is for this to be over, and I want to go back to work. While I'm complaining about my cushy work from home job because I don't have enough time for YouTube, this lady is like talking about that. And so here's the thing. I'm tired, but the Lord provides me with enough energy. You know what? That's why I made the distinction. I'm not lethargic or fatigued. I'm just tired all the time, right? The Lord provides me with enough energy to not only get my tasks done throughout the day, but also is allowing me to go up this mountain right now. Like, I have enough energy. I just don't want to be doing it. And it's not all the energy in the world, but I have just enough energy. His strength is sufficient. If ever there was a time for that scripture, his strength is sufficient in this moment. Hey, Connie. Boston says, sorry, I'm not talking in the chat. I'm here listening, though. That's all right. Hey, Scott. And then the sun. And then the sun. Scott says, Lord is king. Amen. And then the sun. So for y'all that don't know, I live in Montana. And good old Montana is known for its sub-zero temperatures, right? Of which was just occurring just over yonder several months ago. I was sitting up here crying because I didn't want to go to my car because I'd have to warm it up to go down the street. I couldn't walk outside because you sniff and your nostril freezes to the inside of your nose. I was so upset. And now the sun is out shining on a beautiful, lush mountain. And I have the nerve to complain to the Lord about the sun that he is shining down on my depressed self. What? Say what, bro? You know, it's blessings. Everything we have, it's like, I thought while I was climbing up that mountain, there is somebody who is 30, 40, 50 years older than me. There is somebody the same age. There is somebody younger than me right now that is unable to walk up this mountain. And all they want in the whole entire world is to walk up slowly and trudging just like me. Hey, Ben. And I have the nerve to complain about the privilege of using my two legs to carry the weight that I put on myself. Hello, pizzas and Mountain Dew and cupcakes. I put on myself, and the Lord has given me what? Will, dedication, stamina, endurance, and I'm just complaining. I'm wearing, not pick it up if you want to. I'm wearing freshly laundered clothes from the washer and dryer in my house. What was fueling my body and continues to fuel my body is a whole food diet, which isn't cheap. That the Lord provides a job for me to be able to afford. There's so many blessings. Let's go into Numbers 24. Numbers 24 really sums it up. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. He gives us all of this. Everything good. I was thinking about it the other day. This isn't part of this today. But I was just saying, like, everything good is from God. All the good things. And then we want more, or it's not enough. Do you know? And what happens? He might give us more than that. We're just so ungrateful. I don't want to be like that. but I'll be honest. I'm like, I love a good complaint. I used to, and I need to bring it back because it was very effective. I used to have a complaint jar where I was allowed to complain, but for every complaint, I would put $5 in the complaint jar because I found myself complaining way too much. And actually, with my second daughter, we had a swear jar, both of us, because both of us had potty mouths, and you would put a quarter in the swear jar anytime you swore. That one wasn't that effective, Let's see. Ben says, not military. Most of my old friends were, though. Scott says, did you ever think about joining? Scott says, I want to join the military and become a sheriff. Scott, you should totally do it. You should totally do it. What would make you not consider it? And you can go into the military when you're 16 if your parents sign off on it. I think maybe discuss it with your parents too. Some parents are gung-ho about the military. Other parents, for a number of reasons, are vehemently opposed to their children going into the military. It just kind of depends on their values and if they perceive the military as being, like, some people think with their own kids. Hey, comparison channel. Some people think with their own kids, like it's a death sentence. That's where their minds go with it. And I think that is fair from a parental point of view. I would love for my kids to join the military because I'm paying for college, and there's kind of, outside of STEM subjects, there's not really a reason to go to college. And the military can line you up with some pretty solid benefits in life if you take advantage of them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of complaints about the VA and how they handle things. But I was talking to my cousin who's retired military, and he was FaceTiming me in his VA in Texas. And I said, why are you not upset? Like, all I hear really are former soldiers upset with the VA. And he said, well, the military, when you're discharged, provides a lot of good services and benefits, but they're slow. So for instance, if you needed to go to the doctor and you were waiting on the VA to do it because of the number of soldiers and the number of VA staff, you would probably wait a while to get into a doctor with the VA. That sucks. An alternative would be to go find a doctor on your own. But in order to do that, depending on why you were discharged, it would be wise for you to like have a job set up for yourself and this kind of thing, so you don't have to rely on the VA. I think the VA works for people who don't rely on it. And I know it shouldn't be that way. In a perfect world, our soldiers would be taken care of, but that's not necessarily the case. So that's people's hang-ups about it. Definitely comparison channel. What state are you in, or where are you coming from? Man, I am tired. What'd you guys do today? I talked to a girl at the gym. Hit the subscribe button for more content. Please hit that subscribe button terrible about reminding people. I talked to a girl at the gym today about how her day is going, and she's worried too. All I do is come across people who are very worried in life. And she has finals. She has finals for her physics class on Friday. And she's worried about failing it. And I was just saying, like, are you worried about failing it? Like, is there a chance you're going to fail it? Or is this just like an unreasonable like thing in your head? And so we came to it. Hey, baptized by fire. It is a ukulele. And so she's not going to fail, but she's worried. She has a 4.89 and she's worried about her grade slipping below an A-. And I was telling her, like, unless you're going to pursue a higher level of education, which she is, the GPA doesn't really matter as long as you're going to graduate, but that's what she is doing. And so I said, so there's a 4.0, right? That would be competitive. And then there's a 3.75. So if you have a 3.89, you're doing fine. You're doing fine in life. Just take the test. Just take the test, guys. The things we worry about. I guess I worry too. But I worry about things that, like, Baptized by Fire says, it's crazy how people torture themselves trying to be perfect. Right. Hey, Thomas. Yeah, I worry about making the right decision for my future. And then what I'll do is kind of back it up and think about what is very important in the next year or so, right? And so for me, as far as like buying a cabin in the woods, buying acreage, living off grid, is that really like a thing I'm doing in the next year? It's not. And so that's where I landed back on, what do I want my life to look like in January 2026? Well, you know, this YouTube channel is like very fun for me. It's an enjoyable activity that I do. So maybe I want to do that for the rest of the year. And then powerlifting is another thing. So what does it look like to just enjoy the rest of my year and maybe think about a 3-year plan where I get rid of the student loans or something like that. And so I want to encourage that for you guys too, because we're humans and it's not helpful. Just like when somebody's angry and you're like, calm down. I don't think it is helpful to tell the average person, don't worry. Right. And so there's a biblical reason for that, not to worry, and we'll get into that in a second. But also, to tell somebody not to worry and then not to give them any tools to not do so. You know, I had a therapist. I need to tell her, she's still my therapist, but this was like 8 years ago or 10 years ago. And I was in her office and I have a tendency to worry anyway. And she was like, just don't worry. Just like clear your head of your worry. And I thought it was the worst advice I had ever heard of in my life. But here's what happened. There is actually a practice. I mean, there's a lot of like woo-woo, like meditation or mindfulness or whatever. But I would implore you, our minds are very strong. And if you don't want to think about something, you are fully capable of wiping your mind clear. You are capable of thinking about it 1 second and boom, thinking about it another. And the first step in that is believing that that's a thing that can happen. Now, biblically, we are called to take all of our thoughts captive and have the mind of Christ. So that would be the biblical version of that. I'm stupid. I'm ugly. I'm dumb. I'll never amount to. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am joyous. I am generous. I am kind. I am faithful. The Lord loves me. I love the Lord. I was put here for a purpose. I am a part of the kingdom. That's like a thing. Like that's legit, you know. Baptized by Fire says, I have general anxiety disorder, so I worry about everything. So my approach to life is do your best and being indifferent about everything else. Yeah. Yeah. And it can still, and it takes like constant rewiring of your brain. We are so infiltrated all the time with all sorts of messages. And so that's why it's also, we're not all, I mean, you know that, right? We're not all stumbled by the same thing. So there's many times where as Christians, we might be like, well, you shouldn't be watching this and you shouldn't be doing this. And it's like, if it's unbecoming of the Lord, certainly. But sometimes things are not stumbling at all. So here's an example. When I go to the gym, the girls come in and I compare my body to the other women, right? Especially like with all sorts, some are like in really good shape and I'll compare to them. So there are only men in the gym, which is more frequent than not. Women do like the elliptical. Do you know what I mean? Or like the machines or whatever. It's not very common for women to do weightlifting. So that makes it easier, but that's like a thing that I wouldn't say I worry, but like I do like a comparison, like look at her biceps. I never say that about a man because you're like, I was doing chest flies with like 15-pound or like incline chest dumbbells with like 25 pounds. And like this guy just next to me is doing 65, no problem. So it's not even something to compare myself to. Baptized by Fire says, do you know of any worship songs played with a ukulele? That would be interesting. Yeah, people ask for it sometimes. Maybe, you know what? Here's what happens. People will request songs that I either have never heard of a day in my life, or when I look them up, I would never really want to like play it. I wouldn't want to sing it. It would be like, it's a song I don't like is what I'm saying. So like, why would I take the time and energy to learn something and I already don't like it? But the issue with songs that people just kind of recommend is that I would have to learn the chords. I'd have to learn the melody that goes with the chords, which is its own frustration. And then I would have to remember the lyrics. I'd have to learn the lyrics to go with it. So I have yet for a song to be recommended where I'm like, that's something I want to be learning. But I'm glad you said that, because there are songs, there are like contemporary worship songs that I do like that I haven't pursued. Can you play one you like for us? Oh my gosh, it's been a while. Come back on Sunday. Sunday's when I play a song, and I'll be honest, I haven't played a song in like 2 weeks. I kind of dropped the ball on doing that. And then I do have, oops. Here's one right here. I write songs. And so that's kind of the other thing. That's kind of a fun little fact about me, is that I will learn a few chords and then ditch whatever I'm doing so that I can play a song that I wrote. Let me see right quick. I think this is it. I don't have my, if you'll accept a D as a D minor, because I don't have my chord sheet with me to tell me what a D minor is. But if you'll accept this, let me see if I remember. Close your eyes, let go, 'cause I told you that your heart is mine. Feel your breath. Okay, so this is remember the Cure by Lady Gaga? I love that song. I rewrote it. And the song is called Tree Limb to Fruit. The verse that it is from when the woman, the adulteress that was brought before Jesus, the guys were gonna stone her, and he's writing in the dirt, and he's like kneel down before her, and then he tells her, sin no more. So this song is called Tree Limb to Fruit, but it's from the melody of The Cure by Lady Gaga. And we have 2 minutes for me to get it off, but this is a rudimentary version. Close your eyes, let go, 'cause I told you that your heart is mine. Feel your breath inside of my own. Seasons fade, but I won't be singing Psalm 32:8. I will let you rest inside my palms. I'm waiting for a yes, patiently on bended knee. I'm waiting for the yes. Come with me, I'm yours for life. Just say it, baby, yes. Faithfully on bended knee. I will stay right by your side. That's that. Let me see here. Baptized by Fire says, I only know Lady Gaga from the movie A Star is Born. I love that movie and soundtrack. Did you know she was recently diagnosed with psychosis? Recently diagnosed with psychosis. So prayers up for Lady Gaga. That's not going to go well. That's not going to go well for her. So Boston, shout out to you. It's actually 8:00. So I was saying I changed the time to 8:00 from 8:05, 8:00 Mountain Standard Time every night, guys. And then we're gonna, the goal is to roll the time back. So the next time will be 7:45, but I've got to figure it out with my schedule because my schedule doesn't allow for it. Hey, horse. All right, guys, I have Got to get going. When I tell you, I feel like this sleep, you guys know what I'm talking about? How old are you guys? You know what I'm talking about? I feel like this sleep right here tonight is going to be, it's going to be a tasty one. It's going to be like a really good, like slobber, drool, when you kind of like, you like splayed out. I cannot wait to go to bed, bro. I should make a post on my channel. Let me do that. I guess another update too that I've started to do is record shorts every day. Usually I use an AI software called Opus Clip to make my shorts, but I've been doing more like showing my face and that kind of thing. Oh, hey, Sherry. I tune in at that time and can never find you. But for the last 5 or 10 minutes, Sherry, you know what you should do is hit the notification. Hit the notification button. Right, guys? That's how that goes. It's like a little bell on my channel. Oh, shoot. And then next to it, it'll come up and it'll say like all videos or some videos or no videos. Make sure you hit the notification for all videos. And then for the rest of y'all here, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more delicious content. Did I say delicious? I meant Christian. More Christian content. Christian content can be delicious, Let's pray out here, guys. Dear Lord, thank you for this time together. Let's go ahead and lift up Lady Gaga, whatever she's got going on with her psychosis, Lord. Just look after her, provide her strength and comfort in those times of need where she needs somebody, and bring her close to you so that she can get to know you and know true peace and true comfort. Lord, thank you for everybody in the Secret Heart Club today, especially the new subscribers and the new people who came in to worship you and be in community as it is. I want to thank you for your benevolence in general toward us and the blessings that you heap upon our heads minute by minute, good Lord, down to the breath in our lungs, Lord. I thank you for the blessing of being tired. That means that I am indeed still alive and am alive for you, Lord. I'm just asking for a nice peaceful sleep tonight, and per usual, that you'll go ahead and put people in front of us. One person at least, Lord, per each person watching this live stream and listening to this live stream, that they can love and serve in your name. Amen. All right. Whew. Good night. I'll talk to you guys later. It's time to go to sleep, baby.